sakes. There. I'm just going to repeat that. We're just going to talk about stress eating and overeating. And on a normal day-to-day basis, that can be a struggle. And then when life is turned upside down, like it was 3 weeks ago, or I think it was 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks, it's even easier to stress eat or overeat. And part of that is no routine or a different routine. When we're going to work or even getting out and going to the gym every day, that's a routine, to have a protein shake maybe before or maybe after. But when all chaos breaks loose, we have more anxiety. That's been like a really big deal for lots of people. Boredom. If you're at home and maybe have more hours and not structure, you have boredom and you tend to eat snacks throughout the day that are non-nutrient dense. Can any of you guys relate to that? It's easy to grab things, and they're also used as a comfort food too. And so we use them as a comfort food, and it takes, if you think about it, it takes energy to meal prep. It takes energy to make a meal plan, to actually do prepping. And so that's reasons why in a situation like this, we can stray off quite easily and stress eat or overeat. And when you feel stressed, we have anxiety, our cortisol spikes. That's a natural response in everybody's brain. And when your cortisol is high, that increases your cravings. So maybe you're sitting at home now and thinking I never used to have these cravings. Now I have cravings for sugary, salty, maybe fatty foods, because it's literally your brain's response to stress and to cortisol. And your brain thinks you need fuel to deal with this stress. So if you think, if you were being chased and you were running for your life, your cortisol goes up and it's a reaction to stress. And so then your body's looking for fuel. So that's how you can have increase in sugary cravings, salty cravings, fat cravings. Everybody's body is different. And the rule of thumb is you have 10 minutes when you are having stress or anxiety. There's a 10-minute window that you can work with to decrease your stress and to prevent cortisol for kicking in 8 hours. And so that's where you can literally do breath work, things like that. You can find something. Mental is huge. Our body's response to increased stress is we want to eat bad things. But this is where mentally you just have to not follow through with it. And it helps even to have little signs around the house, maybe where the not good food is. You could put decreased stress before eating. It's just things like that. We have in our body, we have oxytocin. It's a natural antidote and is produced by experiencing nature, reducing your stress, reducing your blood pressure, things like that. It's naturally produced, and that helps bring your cortisol levels down. And so that's where we really need to be aware with our current situation that we're managing the stress, because they always say don't be stressed out. We're all stressed out. There's so many what ifs or unknowns in this, but just trying to do things to manage your stress. So even doing boot camp on a regular basis, yoga tonight at 7:15, it's a great restorative yoga. Things like that are going to help to produce this oxytocin and decrease your cortisol. What else do we got? And you all know after you stress eat, you feel like crap. Now you're more tired. You can't focus. You just internally feel bad because you're mad at yourself that you stress ate. And then that just makes you more upset, increases your cortisol. So it's like a vicious cycle. And we all know how we feel after Thanksgiving dinner, we eat it and it tastes so good. And then you're like, I feel disgusting. And so it's things like that. And just realizing there's lots of stuff right now that we can't control. We sure that couldn't control this COVID-19. We can't control how many days it's going to last, but we can control what we eat. And it's just thinking of that as a little powerhouse that we can't control many things right now, but that is one thing. And when we can control different things and you have control of how you feel, it really brings you at peace, which also drops your cortisol levels. Before you eat, stop and ask yourself, why are you eating? Are you hungry? Are you anxious? Are you bored? Are you stressed? Because it really helps to pinpoint why emotional eating is a huge thing. So it's like being aware of your emotions, why you're even eating. We did a Whole30 challenge a while back, and I love the one analogy that Melissa Hartwig said. If you're truly hungry, you will be willing to eat a plate of tilapia and broccoli. And that's powerful because just try that. You know, when you have these cravings, be like, how's a plate of tilapia and broccoli sound? If it doesn't sound good, you're not hungry. It's more like a stress response. It's an emotional response. So just being aware of that is going to do huge things. Things to help create a meal plan. You know, we're all off track here. If you need help creating a meal plan, I can help you with that too, or any of our coaches. Going for a walk or run, it's huge. There was a study way back in the day, and we talked about it on one of our challenges, but they had two small children and they had access to candy, but they were told if they didn't eat the candy that they were even going to get a bigger treat. So one of the kids had the candy right in front of them, and the other kid had the candy behind him. Guess which kid waited the longest? The one who didn't have it in sight. So changing your scenery is huge. If you have, I love food, and I'm definitely not the person who can have half a cookie. Like I'm literally eating the whole bag. So our house is a very safe zone. We literally, I have two 22-year-old and an 18-year-old that still live at home. So they have some snack foods, but it's not anything I like. It's like gross, like Takis, or I don't even know how to say them, but they love those corn chips. Because if I have a bag of chips in my house, I'm eating the whole bag. So realizing how you are, if you're one of the cool people that can eat a half a cookie or 4 chips, teach me how to do that, because it doesn't work in my mind. So get rid of the stuff that's in your house, donate it or throw it out, because it's too tempting to be there. You know, Halloween candy, I honest to God don't even eat one, because if I'm eating one chocolate bar, I'm probably eating 12 mini chocolate bars. So realize how you are. Do yard work, you know. It's going to be 93 today, you guys. Like this Canadian girl, this is the most amazing weather to me. Meditate. You know, there's lots of cool little apps just to take your mind off of it. Read a book. You know, we're doing Relentless. So we have 2 more weeks on this. Just so you guys know too, we are going to bump after this book. We are going to bump book club to probably a day at 10, just to see what our take is on that. But read a book. If you want books to read, I literally can list off, because I'm a book nut and my office is piled with them. Play games with your kiddos and partner. We just got Yahtzee out recently. It's just things like that to keep off your mind, even solitaire. Clean or do laundry. I've heard lots of awesome stuff about people getting their house cleaned up, because it's just like taking your mind off of eating. And call a friend or family member. It's great to have like an accountability person. You know, when we run challenges, we do that a lot. The Facebook page is a great place. Like, I'm going nuts at home all day. I want to snack on this. What is everybody else doing? And a whole bunch of people will give you their 2 cents on what they do. Because like, you know, when we stress eat and overeat, it's that vicious cycle. And then we just feel guilty about it. And, you know, but like what we did yesterday or the last 3 weeks, you know, we can't do anything about it. So like get rid of the guilt and then just plan today. I am also making a meal plan for one of our boot campers who doesn't cook. And so when I get that finalized, I'll post that on the VIP page too. And you guys can take ideas from that. So she literally doesn't cook at all. And she just tries to buy like prepared food. And so I'm going to go in and create, because there's lots of ideas. I have a friend who owns a Fit Body for 8 years, and she never cooks, not even once all week at her house. I just can't even ever wrap my mind around that. And so I'm going to take some ideas that I see when we travel. I see how she eats and what she packs. And so it's just being creative and inventful and reaching out if you guys need help. So, because lots of people don't cook or don't like to cook. So I used to hate cooking. My husband used to do all the cooking. And, you know, when we started doing challenges like what Lisa was talking about, the girls' night out, it was a preset menu with preset recipes and you had to follow it pretty much. And honestly, doing those challenges, I found a love of cooking, because so many people, we have in our mindset that healthy food tastes gross and it has to be broccoli and chicken. And so with those challenges we did, it just opened up, you know, my mind, and I think a lot of our clients, that you can eat healthy and it can taste amazing, actually better than the junk. And it doesn't need to take, honestly, more time than, no matter what you do, you have to plan and you have to spend some time in the kitchen, because that's the only way to be successful with food. And so I always tell people, quit saying I hate cooking, because you still will hate cooking forever. And so I'm like, bake it till you make it. If you haven't tried those sweet potato muffins that Coach Sean, I think yesterday she did a little video and posted the recipe, those are amazing. So if you like bread, if you crave like breaded texture, you will be pleasantly surprised on how good those sweet potatoes are. I think you would have had them, Lise, wouldn't have you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were good. They're good. I've gone through that challenge, and then there was another one that was similar to that provided all the recipes and shopping list. And I pulled those recipe books out and just I cook from that all the time. There's a tasty enchilada in there that's made with eggs. And I swear my kids like it better than King Ranch casserole. And
Hey,
it
will
does
you
not.
post that? Will you post that, Lise?
Yeah, it was in one of our challenges.
I
It was
don't remember
amazing.
it. Maybe I never made it. I'm a enchilada. I'm secretly should have been
It's
born
been
in Mexico.
fantastic. And I'll usually, instead of ground turkey, it calls for ground turkey, but I'll bake chicken or grilled chicken and then shred it and put it in there instead, because that's what we did with our old King Ranch casserole recipe. But it does not taste like breakfast. It's the weirdest thing. It's so good though. But I'll post it. I've got it on my phone.
What did you say, Tracy? I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I want her to post that. That sounds good.
Yeah, I will. I've got it.
And like, even like, we're stuck in the house and just like, but like, I would even challenge you to try like 1 or 2 recipes every week, because it's just, there's so many good recipes out there, but we often get stuck in the cycle of just eat the same thing too. And some people like that. Like some people literally, even when we do challenges, they eat the same thing the whole 8 weeks. I can do that too, but I do like discovering new recipes, because it's amazing. One of my favorite recipes of all times was, and now I'm going to make my husband make it tonight. It's Lise, do you remember it? I don't know if you did it, Tracy. It was on a Whole30 challenge, and it was curry cauliflower chicken.
Oh yeah, that was good. And there was a lime curry or coconut. It was made with coconut cream.
Yeah,
It was
this one had coconut milk, and it's like, some of my family don't like it because it's too rich, but like I literally could like scoop up that sauce that's on there.
Are
And
you
so
having trouble finding some of the ingredients?
I haven't so far. Like my husband's been going out usually either Friday morning or Monday morning, and he's been able to get it. One time or last week I shopped on Amazon one day, or maybe it was the week before, and they were out of spinach.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, we have a green smoothie every day, so we legit need it. You need a bulk buy spinach.
I've seen a lot of spinach at Trader Joe's.
My husband went there. Like we actually haven't. We've been lucky, I guess, because we haven't not been able to find everything on our grocery list. And I do think it's getting better. I think people have calmed down a little bit. We actually found hand sanitizer the other day, and I was like, whoa, that's the first time I saw that since this whole ordeal happened.
This is my book of challenge recipes. I like.
Love it.
I pull them out. I made the granola the other day. My husband loves granola, and it's really good too.
It is. Is that the one Sean shared? Do you know?
Homemade protein bar.
Those are good too.
Yeah, it was really good. Let's see if I can find.
And like my go-to every day, if you have a sweet, is literally Greek yogurt, Fit Body chocolate protein powder, and Lily stevia chocolate chips. I legit eat that every
That looked
day.
good.
And
I can't find those chocolate chips anywhere.
oh, you can't? I was stocked up from before. They, did you try Amazon?
Yeah, I couldn't find the stevia ones, but they may just be out right now.
They could be. I love that so much. Like my husband, I make it for him every day too. He's been off. My husband's been off home for 9 months already before the quarantine.
Wow.
But I make that for him every day. He was actually supposed to go to work 2 weeks ago, and then oil dropped from 45 to $19, and they canceled the project. But he doesn't even like the chocolate chips in there, and I was like, "How? What? That's the best part."
That mom's chicken soup was really good too.
That is awesome, and we're gonna have cold weather in the next few days. That would be a great recipe too. Remember how fascinated we were, Lise? How that's because it calls for like how much, like 1 or 2 pounds of spinach? I forget.
Oh, let's see.
And then it like literally, and the first time I made it, I was like, "There's no way I'm putting that much in the soup. Like it will be all
1 pound of spinach. Yeah.
Yeah, and it just shrivels right down.
Yeah, that's really
I want that soup. I'm gonna write this down. Mom's chicken soup. You guys have any questions about anything?
Some of those old recipe books, can you put those on the Fit Body, like as an upload as a document?
I probably could.
It is.
Providing I can find them. If it was like the last 3 years, I'm much more organized owner. If it was before then.
I think this would be the last one. Mine's so wrinkled. I don't know if anybody's gonna be able to read this. But let's see.
Yeah, and it's just like that, Mama. I'm gonna go find that Mom's chicken soup because that would be. When is it supposed to turn to the Canadian North cold? I'm just like
tomorrow.
40 degrees.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be almost 100 today.
Am I right? Oh no, sorry. It said 40, but it literally refreshed 76. But it is supposed to go into the 60s.
There's also a slow cooker enchilada soup that's really good.
Yes.
Really
there was one that we cooked quite a bit on the last macro challenge. I can't remember what it was called, but it actually had corn in it, which you don't see very often when you're, eating healthy. And so I bought like the organic corn from Trader Joe's, but it was spicy. It's like a Mexican soup, and it was spicy. It was so good. Any other questions? Can we hear you now, Erin?
Yeah, I had to use the browser. It kept crashing on my computer. I don't know why.
Your nutrition. What do you need help with? What did you say, Tracy?
I'm on a desktop. She asked if we're on laptops.
Okay, I am on a laptop.
Yeah, it works on my other laptop, but my desktop
I'm having to use my phone, and that's why. Oh, because I'm on my phone, and that's why it looks so close. I don't like it.
They well, even you can, but your volume, I don't think your volume connected right, because you're really quiet. But I think when you connect, I forgot do you remember what question it asks you guys about audio?
It asks you to test your audio like before you connect, but I don't know how it does it on the phone.
But yeah, you can do it from your computer too, and then you're big, like you're not as close. But even if you set your phone farther away too, Tracy, but then I think it would be hard to hear you because you're audio for some reason is quiet. I'm a professional Zoomer. I've never did so many Zooms. We use Zoom every week in the gym. That's how we do our meetings every Friday with everybody on deck, but I've learned a lot of stuff. So how's your nutrition, Erin?
It's all right. I mean, I kicked all. I don't get any bad foods like you. I'm craving carbs, but like I'm on a low carb diet, so like I'm craving chips, and I don't have any chips in my house. So I mean, I drink like a protein drink in the mornings. That's what I was drinking earlier. This oats one is really good. It is apple cinnamon. It's really good. It has like oatmeal in it, so it's like really good. So I drink that in the morning, and then usually have like a dinner, low carb dinner, at night, or like a keto type of dinner with like vegetables and like some type of meat.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been keeping it healthy.
You should look at that sweet potato recipe because it really, for carb cravings, they're so good. When I first made them, I was like, this sounds disgusting, sweet potato muffins, but they're not even dry. Like a lot of times when you bake like a healthier version of something, it's so dry, but they're really good. I can tag you in that post. It was Sean's. And I'm going to go post Mom's chicken soup recipe when we get off. And we can also
get a picture of the enchilada one.
Yes. I for sure have not made that one.
It is so, when I first read it, I thought this is going to taste like breakfast. And I even told the kids, I said, here's the deal. We're going to try it. If it tastes like breakfast or it's terrible, I'll order pizza and we'll just blow it off. And they loved it. I mean, that's a staple in our house. I serve it for company. I mean, it's pretty much a staple at our house.
Yeah, I want that recipe because that's not one of the ones I ever cooked.
And I don't use just egg whites with it all the time. I usually put a couple of yolks in it as well.
Okay.
Because it looks better, because it looks like it has cheese in it if you use the yellow part of the egg as well. I mean, I've made it all egg whites. It doesn't change the taste, but just kind of the consistency and the way it looks. So a lot of times I'll add, if it's just for us, I'll use egg whites. But if I'm serving it for company, I'll add the yolks.
I'm going to try that. Do you guys have any other questions? Tracy, are you going to do the Zoom workout tonight?
Yes.
Do it. It's so much better. I really like them. I still said workout swear words today though.
They aren't bad. I mean, in some ways I've been probably come more often just because I really have no excuse.
Yeah. Isn't that the truth?
I can't drive and go do anything. There's not anywhere else to go, but so if I can't walk to my living room, I really have no excuse.
Yeah, that's like Fred said, you're really enjoying this, aren't you? Because he would always be like, I don't have time to go to the gym today. And I was like, it only takes you 5 seconds to get to the gym today.
Yeah, and I can find excuses. It'll be interesting to see what you decide to do and how you do it after this ends. If you keep some video stuff, or if you come up with another program, or